Welcome to another episode of Ann and Lisa's Soapbox. I'm Ann.
And I'm Lisa. Welcome. So, with everything going on in the world, Ann, and we just got through the holidays, one of the things that, you see a lot of families doing, they're struggling. You know, we've all seen the prices at the grocery store,
Yeah,
and
sure have.
we see a lot of families, like I said, it's even rough around the holidays because either you're not getting enough work or you're trying to squeeze out something little for a gift for your kids or so on, And in talking about that, and I've really thought about different situations, and I know a few folks that have had to try to get some help, with either food stamps or some money from the government. And one of the things that you go in there, say you'd like to get a few food stamps, to help with some food, single parent goes in there. They ask them all these questions, like how much money you make at your job. This
Right.
person has
Yeah.
a job, and they ask you how much money do you have in the bank, if you've got any money in the bank. And most people are like, hey, if I had money in the bank,
I wouldn't need.
right.
I wouldn't
How
need
much
help.
money you got in your pocket,
Right.
what kind of car do you drive, and so on and so forth. So regardless of the situation, uh, they ask these questions.
Right.
So they get on their little calculator and they start calculating. So, today's okay, I'm going to add this. And, they look at your car as a luxury. Well, if you're working, it's not a luxury. It's a
Be
way to
lucky
get,
if it runs.
you got to get right. You got to get your family, your kids to the doctors. You got to go to the grocery store. You got to go to work, and so on and so forth. So they add all these things up and they'll look at you and they'll be like, okay, you make like $15.20 too much for me to help you.
That's
So
crazy.
That's crazy. And
That is
instead of saying,
crazy.
hey, you would get X amount of dollars, but you make $15.20 too much. Why don't they just say, hey, we're going to deduct $15.20 off of the food stamps we were going to give you.
Right. Right.
Because, you're over that much.
Right.
And we're going to give you that much less than we would give you. But no,
Right.
we're not going to give it to you at all. So basically, they tell people, so, hey, if you want to go home, quit your job, sit at home eating some bonbons, we're going to give you everything. We're going to give you a check. We're going to give you food stamps.
Right.
And, you have
Just keep having kids.
keep having a couple more kids, and,
Yeah, that's great.
we'll keep it going.
Yeah.
But, and then people are like, well, why do we have these people that are stuck on welfare? It's because we are training them to be stuck on welfare.
Stuck on welfare.
You know,
Exactly.
uh,
Not saying everybody does that.
no,
but
but welfare is there to help people,
right.
But people can't get help.
Right.
It's either all or nothing with them. which
Especially
is-
single moms, I think.
Yeah, and that's super crazy, and say, hey, you know what? Or giving them, hey, can we help you with childcare?
Right.
What can we do to help you
Right.
get a step up so you're not in this situation forever, And then instead of, and then when somebody comes in and says, hey, I don't have a job, but I need some money.
Right.
I need some food stamps. Okay. You got kids or you're whatever. We're going to help you out. Not only are we going to help you out, we're going to give you a job.
Right.
Because what does every city have? City has lots of work that can be done. There's parks that can be cleaned. There can be lawns that can be mowed. There's courthouses that can be cleaned.
Right.
So they can make a check.
Give them something.
Give them something,
Mhm.
and then not only that, let's not just give them a job. Let's help them with some daycare,
Right.
because the people that can run the daycare can also be people that don't have a job that need help.
Exactly.
Make sure you do your background checks. We don't want our kids, that are staying with somebody that or being watched by people that aren't, stable or
Right.
good folks. Just don't use anybody. But there's lots of things that we could do differently, and offer, training them, or say, okay, where do you want to be? What can we do to help you? Is there some schooling or some
Right.
training? But we don't do that. We
Right.
train people. You know what we do? We tell them, quit your job and we'll help you.
Right.
That's what we'll do.
The message that you're sending.
That's the message that
Right.
that they're sending. And unfortunately, then, you're raising kids that are going to grow up into the welfare system because they see
Exactly.
this is how it works. And, you know, do that and evaluate them every 3 months. Don't give them an open book, you know,
Right.
and make sure, hey, if you're collecting welfare of any sort, you're gonna take drug tests.
Right.
You know,
I agree.
you're gonna take a drug test.
Absolutely.
You know, for one, you shouldn't be doing drugs anyway. You know,
Where you get the money for drugs if you don't have the money for food.
there you go. But yeah, you know, and somebody that really a single parent that really needs the help, they're gonna be like, you know what? If you're gonna help me and you're gonna give me all these things to help me help myself,
Right.
I'll do whatever you
Well,
need me to
you
do.
know, another thing is pay a living, wage.
Right. Exactly. Pay us something that these people can live off of.
I mean, how can you live this day and age on $15 an hour?
Right.
And not everybody is educated enough, or, I mean, we all have different IQs.
Right. Absolutely.
I couldn't go out and make $1 million.
But why are you people that doesn't have a great, IQ, a high IQ or the ability to make that kind of money? Why are they treated like they're unimportant because
I know,
they're
exactly.
throwaways?
Yeah,
And that's very unfortunate, and it's just like the elderly, to me, if there's an elderly person and they don't have this big retirement, because not all of us are able to save for a great retirement
right.
and have a great situation, why aren't they getting a flat amount of food stamps right out of the gate? Because, I mean, I know what my mother got on Social Security, and it was not a whole lot.
No,
And
it
she's
wasn't.
supposed to pay for her medication. She's supposed to pay for her place to live. And she's supposed to pay for her food, her clothes. I mean,
Right.
all of these things on this little bit of money.
That's the way my mom was as
Right.
well.
To me, they should be getting a flat. This is a flat rate every month
Right.
of food stamps to feed themselves.
Sure.
So
Yep.
they're not starving.
Right.
But if you were to keep your mother, if she was still around, God rest her soul, but if you were still to keep your mother in your house and you didn't make sure she had her medication and she was not fed right, you'd go to jail.
Yeah.
But the government could do that.
Right.
It's okay for them to say, too bad, so sad.
Right.
You're not going to get any medical treatment. You're not going to get your medication. And we don't care if you eat or not.
Right. They don't.
But if she's living in your house, it's different.
Right.
But explain to me why that's okay.
I can't.
And and to be honest with you, nobody in this country should be going hungry.
The richest country in the world, and people are starving. Yeah, make sense of that.
Right. They do have some programs where they do help with some electricity and some heat. But they don't advertise that. And a lot of people, they don't know how to get it.
I know.
They don't know how to get that help.
Well, my mom went on Medicare or Medicaid. Medicaid. That's the Medicaid. She had Medicare. She went on Medicaid toward the end of her life. And they provided in-home care. They would send like a nurse
To come and check on her.
to come and check on her, whatever. But then when she passed away, they wanted that money back.
Oh, absolutely.
That's crazy.
That is absolutely crazy.
Why offer the service and then,
And then,
yeah,
they're not offering anything.
no,
You're paying for it
because
one way or
they
the other.
came after her estate.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
And here's the other thing about go back about the SNAP benefits. So not only then, if you are eligible for
Right.
SNAP benefits, which now they have gotten a little stickier on what you can buy in. You can't buy, you can't
Oh,
buy
yeah, junk food.
Junk food. But, and which I'm okay with, but let's make food affordable. Fresh fruit and vegetables. These people can't afford it.
and meat.
And meat.
Well, and the Health and Human Services guy, Kennedy, whatever, yeah, he's put out a new thing where you need to eat more proteins and I don't know what else it was. Well, how can people afford that?
Exactly. That's the other problem.
I mean,
man.
when a pound of hamburger is $6,
Right.
that's you can't afford it.
Right.
I mean, heaven forbid.
Absolutely. It's just it's a circle jerk.
It's
It's a
It's-
circle jerk
Yeah.
about the whole thing. And
it's cheaper to eat unhealthy. I mean, a box of macaroni and cheese, which is not healthy.
No. And that's if you can afford the milk to go with it.
Exactly.
And it's absolutely, and then you have people that donate food,
Yes.
which is great.
And
But
they
the-
want non-perishable stuff.
Yeah, but they don't want some 2-year-old freaking expired artichokes in somebody's cabinet. Nobody wants that.
Right.
Stop donating
Right.
that. Why did you buy it in the first place? But
Right.
just don't donate it. Nobody's going to eat your artichokes
Yeah.
or your expired pickled pig feet. They don't. They
Pickled pig feet.
They don't want it. But it is a blessing when those people that do donate food and for these food banks. A lot of people count on that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And if they didn't, a lot of people would starve. And I
Right.
think it's a lot of kids and a lot of the elderly.
and that's ridiculous in this country.
right. And that's another thing. The elderly, they can't get her. My mom, if she didn't have me, if she would have been by herself, or your mother, I have no idea, or my uncle, to help her. I don't know how she would have even been able to get to the grocery. She didn't drive. She was
I
unable
know.
to drive.
Yeah.
We have no way of helping these folks.
No.
And some of these single parents that don't have cars, that's considered a luxury to be able to go to the store, I guess, and to take them to the doctor and so on. You can't afford. Why don't they give them some kind of a card so that they can have groceries delivered?
Right.
Say, okay, or something of that nature. Or they have these farmers. Well, they can go to the farmer's market and they can get free vegetables and fruit. Well, how are they going to get
How
there?
they get there? Yeah.
How are they going
Right.
to get there?
Right.
It's just absolutely crazy that that we have not came up with a better idea at this point to help families in the right way, and to stop making more welfare recipients and make them more able to take care of themselves.
Right. Right.
And educate them or give them chances to be a better person. That's the other thing.
I agree
For
for sure.
I don't know. I know that there's families out there that are probably, the country's not in a great situation right now, and there are families that are probably scraping the bottom of the barrel,
Oh yeah.
to make ends meet, and being evicted from their homes, and there's elderly people that are in some bad conditions, and that's
The one thing that I really liked was, and I guess Trump, this is one of the good things that he did, is not taxing your Social Security anymore.
So you heard that right here. She did say something positive
About Trump. I did.
But no, that is great. And what kind of world were we taxing them?
I
in?
don't know. You
why-
already were taxed on that money that you put into this fund.
That whole thing is just ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Tax your Social Security.
Yeah. Well, and it's another, and I don't even want to go. This is a whole different road, but it's the same thing about paying land taxes after your home's paid off.
Oh, I know, right?
It's supposed to be yours.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
am I still?
Why
being
am I
taxed?
still paying for it?
Why am I still paying for it?
Well,
till you
to
die?
fund these, congressmen, and
Yeah.
you got to fund all this stuff, or we have to help pay for it.
Well, maybe they ought to figure out how to fund it instead of putting ballrooms and fund it a different way.
Oh, exactly.
I mean,
Oh, but those are private donors that are building the
well, those
ballroom.
private donors, you hear it right here, maybe donate to better causes, because
Yeah.
I think the country would be just fine without a ballroom.
I think we have been for 250 years, don't you?
I think we would
Yeah.
I don't think that was a necessity. But somebody going hungry, some little kids going hungry, some elderly people doing without,
Yeah.
that's a different situation.
If I had the money, there would be fewer hungry people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know and I don't want to sound like this terrible person, Ann, because it's not true. There's a lot of people out there that do a lot of good. There's a lot of stars, athletes, everyday common people, that do a lot of good for folks. So I don't want to sound like,
I agree.
And you do what you can. But
there are a lot of greedy people out there, and one of them's running the country.
True. And we're, like I said, instead of, thinking of better ways to help his people and help his country. He's thinking of better ways to
Knock them down and kick
Yep.
them while they're down.
and picking on other people. I mean, he's spreading his love now to other countries.
Oh, yeah. Well,
He's spreading his love to other countries, and
yeah. I mean, Iran right now is in the middle of a crisis. The people are demonstrating and causing all kinds of crap against the government there. Why can't we do that? But he's saying, I'll help them if they start killing people.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, he says, and the stuff he says out loud.
I don't think he hears himself. I think
Yeah,
he's
but everybody
deaf.
else hears him, and they still follow him.
They
and
still do.
Yeah, it's like a cult.
I know.
I don't understand.
I don't get it.
And the folks that try to stand up and say something about what's going on, they're communist or not communist. They're against him. They're against the country.
Fascist or
They're
left wing radicals that care about people.
Right. How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you
Call us names?
I will say I am American. I'm proud to be an American, but I am also an American that feels like we're not the country we used to be, and we need to be in a better
We
place.
are not.
And we need to start with helping the folks that are right here, and
I am in agreement.
you're not a spring chicken anymore.
I'm
And I'm not that far behind you.
about ready to have my feathers plucked, to tell you the truth.
And I know that some of the things that we've talked about, we didn't even touch on medications in this country. And,
Oh, good Lord.
those kind of types of things, that people
Yeah.
getting medical treatment, because
You
let's
can't
face-
afford them.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, our healthcare system is the worst it's ever been.
Well, I
ever.
had a cousin that was dying of cancer here. It's been years ago, but one shot that they had to have before they had chemo cost $5,000 just for the shot.
Absolutely.
Now, how can people afford to? I mean, they're trying to stay alive, for crying out loud, but I think they want us to die off. It's
I-
like the survival of the fittest.
And they're like, well, that's what the I can't see a world where it costs that much for treatments.
A shot.
A shot.
Yeah.
They have regulations. They have this is the top that you can charge for this or that. What happened to, doing that for medications? And
Well, we have the Trump pharmacy now, I guess. I don't know.
yeah, I
I haven't seen any difference in prices of anything. I mean, I don't pay a lot because my insurance, thank God.
Right.
What about people that don't have that, though?
right.
I mean, one of my medications is $600 a month. Another one is $400, 400 and something.
So there's that over $1,000.
Over
right there.
$1,000 a month, and I get $2,000 in Social Security.
So yeah, I mean, we're
Can't afford to live anymore.
that's
Guess you'll just have to take me out back and dig a hole. And,
Well, we did touch on that earlier. If, like I said, if we were to have our folks living with us and we
Huh.
didn't make sure that they had the medication and the stuff that they need, we would go to jail for that, which
Oh, yeah.
which we should.
Yeah.
But the country can get away with, what, you can't afford your medication. I mean, there are some, my mom did get some help with some of her medications, but then some of them they just cut it off. Like they're
Right.
like, or even I found out, and I'm still working, and I pay for my insurance
Right.
through work, and I was on a certain medication, and the insurance company said, well, we really don't want you to be on that medication anymore. So I think you need to try this other medication, even though the medication I was on was working just fine.
Right.
I didn't have any issues
Right.
with it, or anything. And the other medication I did have, they wanted me to go on. I did have problems with, but they literally will argue with the doctor. Like these nurses spend so much time in the doctor's office arguing with insurance companies
Oh,
about their patients and the medications that their patients need, but we just, and it's okay.
right.
Like, it's literally okay for that to happen. But I guarantee you, what's going to happen if this person that they want to switch this medication, they die because of this.
Well, that's not my problem. These medications, I'm going to die anyway, but I had to switch my supplemental insurance this year and one of the reasons why I'm sure it has something to do with this, not Obamacare, but, I don't even know what I'm saying.
That train left the
Well,
station.
The lady that I got my supplement from said that one of my medications is not covered
Right.
by this new insurance that I'm getting. Well, this is one of the medications that keeps me kind of sane. I mean, it's an antidepressant,
Right.
and I've been on it for years,
Right.
and it makes no sense why they wouldn't cover it.
Right.
But now she's either going to have to figure out a way to get it, or my doctor's going to have to try to figure out a way to get it from Canada or somewhere else.
That's absolutely absurd.
Why do I have to change it?
Right. And you've been on it
And it works.
Right.
Because if it doesn't, all I do is cry.
right. And nobody wants to see that. Your teeth
Wow.
will fall out. Things will happen. But and it's not just with medications. It's medical procedures.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
They argue about a patient needing a medical procedure. Last time I checked, I go to the doctor. They're supposed to be, telling me what I need, and we're supposed to
Right.
go on with that. But now insurance companies are arguing with these doctors and these nurses. Well, do they really need this
Yeah, right.
procedure?
hmm
And I understand if it's something that's a tummy tuck or something like that. Absolutely, that's something
Right.
completely
Right.
different. But if it's medically needed, why is there even a discussion or argument about the medication or the procedure?
Or who does it?
Yeah, or who does it?
Right. When we were younger, my brother had a appendectomy. He was in the hospital for a week. If you have an appendicitis attack now, you may not even be there for the whole day.
Oh, yeah, they're pushing them right back. Like, they literally will argue with the doctor's office, if there has to be a night stay.
Oh yeah.
Like, really,
Yeah.
why do
they have to stay overnight?
Why do
Can't
they got
this
to-
be done outpatient?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we are taking their left leg off.
Oh.
It's, it is absolute. And then the value of the care that you get at the hospitals anymore.
Oh, I know.
And, I'm not even going to completely blame the doctors or the nurses, because I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they're probably over or understaffed, overworked, and they're probably busy arguing with insurance companies as well.
Oh yeah. They don't want to argue, so they just
Yeah, on a regular basis.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy.
yes, it is.
So, yeah, you heard it here. It's a big circle jerk of,
Circle jerk.
yep, of welfare, healthcare, and our country is just in trouble.
Yep. Yep. It is.
It is definitely in trouble. I don't think I have anything other than to add to that, other than maybe some prayers and hopefully some thoughts how many years do we got left, Ann?
I have maybe a couple.
No, I'm talking about our
Oh.
presidency.
I thought you were talking about me. How would I know that? I know it's probably not long.
Hey, buddy, why would I ask you that?
Right. Well,
Anyway,
my one point I was trying to make, and now see, you got me off track, and I can't remember what it was. So that's another sign of aging.
I mean, I could sit here and just not say anything.
And I hope people don't think that my Medicare is free
Right.
because it's not.
Right.
I pay out of my benefits for that. I just want to make that clear.
Right.
And then I was paying tax on what was left over. So,
It's just absolutely absurd that
yeah.
the amount of money they think that people can live off of.
Yeah. And I pay extra for the supplement that I get. So, yeah, this stuff is not free, just so people know. Because I think there's a misconception that you retire and you get all this crap free, but it's not true.
Well,
So,
thank you. I've got something to look forward to.
oh, yeah.
But and like my point I was trying to make earlier, I'm still working and I have insurance through the company that I work with. It's not any better.
No.
It's not. It's the same circle jerk,
Yeah.
and it's unfortunate. And the other thing is some of these drugs that they offer for people to lose weight, and they don't want to help these people. I mean, I understand that somebody needs to lose 5 pounds. Why should the insurance company pay for that? But you would think that if somebody is considered overweight,
Right.
and it is a health concern,
Right.
why would we not want to
Help them out.
You know,
Right. Well, because it's going to be listed on your death certificate, morbidly obese, if
Right.
you're 5 pounds overweight. Now,
Right.
who wants their death certificate to read morbidly obese? I mean, my mom's does, because she was a big woman.
Right,
I mean, not huge,
right. No,
but she was overweight.
well, I mean, it doesn't take much to be morbidly obese.
it doesn't. I
You
mean,
know,
10 pounds might make you morbidly obese.
I've discussed that with my doctor a few times. It's just like, but yeah, unfortunately, they don't want to help with that either.
They do not.
So we're all screwed.
We
You've
are
heard, you've heard it
screwed.
right here.
Yeah.
Americans, we're all screwed.
Here we are.
Unless you're the very rich, that doesn't
Can
really
pay
care.
for a personal trainer and
Right, and can buy food.
and they tell you no, you are not going to eat that
right, fruits and vegetables, you can afford them,
that you can afford,
and meat.
and meat.
Yes,
Well,
you can afford to be on the
fish or
Mediterranean
chicken.
diet. The Mediterranean diet.
Mediterranean.
They say that that's like the best food to eat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for everything. That's
Okay.
like the best diet to be. But I mean, to eat it, I'm sure you got to be able to afford the food to buy.
Exactly.
So yeah, how many of those people are? And we live in
Indiana.
Indiana, which is the RV capital of the world. We
World.
live in the RV capital of the
We
world.
do.
Here.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, everybody
There's a lot of money here.
there is a lot of money here. It's just not. We just don't.
We
have
don't
it.
have it.
Somebody else has got it. That's the deal, man. That is the deal, and it's you look at these people, and I see how much people do make in the RV industry, and some of them make
A lot.
some of them make a lot of money,
A lot of money.
and
That's no wonder the prices of RVs are what they are. The amount of money these people make.
yeah,
I'm not kidding.
absolutely, and it's getting less and less though. I mean, you go to the store. I mean, and how much you spend at the store? Grocery
On
store
food,
on food a week, just on average.
a couple hundred, if not more.
Yeah,
That's for right now 3 of us.
and
It was more with 4 of us.
and you're eating. I mean, what you're eating steak every day? Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're not eating steak every day. And,
I don't even want to buy hamburger anymore.
Right.
And, chicken,
Right. It's not much better.
it's not much better.
We would really
sure.
like to hear what you guys think. If we have an email. It's Ann and Lisa, soapbox at gmail.com. Whether you agree with us, you got an opinion, you got something to say.
Think we're stupid?
Right.
That's okay.
That's all right. You've got
Whatever.
you got some things that you'd like for us to talk about. We'd like to hear from you.
Yes, we would.
Doesn't matter. Like I said, if you agree with us or you don't, please let us know.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
We appreciate you listening.
Hopefully
And
you'll come back.
we'd like to hear from you.
All right.
All right. Bye.